Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Hello, Joe.
I'm here.
We have a musical tribute to today's U.S. hockey game.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Albania, Albania, you border on the Adriatic. Your land is mostly mountainous, and your chief export is chrome. Communist Republic, your red regime. Sing it, son.
Have we ever lose to Lithuania before?
This was Slovenia.
Same
whoops.
thing.
Well,
Yes.
close enough for me, huh?
It was Slovenia, but it's damn near Albania.
Right
It
there.
was-
Is
Six and
Mrs.
one.
Trump? Is Mrs. Trump Slovenia?
I do
I don't
believe she's
know.
slow. We'll check now.
She could be.
Yolanda.
I don't know. I think
There's no reason to look her up, huh?
somebody said that in the movie Stripes, they got sent to Slovenia. Bill Murray and that crew got sent to Slovenia. But this isn't Slovakia, Joe. You know,
She's from Novo Mesto, Slovenia,
Holy cow.
47 years ago.
Well, she's probably happy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably happy that they beat the old USA today in hockey. So we had a 2-goal lead going into the third, and then we gave up one, and that's okay. And then we gave up one with 1 minute and 14 seconds to go, and then boom, 43 seconds into overtime, she's over. And the boys' backs are to the wall are ready.
That's like
when you-
Wild playing Phoenix.
Yes, it is. It is. Except you don't have 81 more chances to make up for it. You know, you have if you don't get out of your group, you're that's one of the teams you're supposed to beat for sure. Because I think their next opponent might actually be Slovakia. So
Are you on board with the Best in Show Bichon Frise?
no, I'm not. I'm not. I you know what though? I picked it right off the bat. Rook, were you watching?
No.
I was not watching.
You were not watching. Did you see that when the new gal comes out, they bring her out of the secret compartment, right? The gal, the judge, and it's a 70-year-old matron from California. Did you see that when she started walking out to go buy the 7 dogs the first time, that little Bichon ran right up to her and looked up at her with these big, he kind of moved up towards her like he was going to jump up on her lap or something and be nice to her. I said, he's going to win.
Yep.
He's already got this old bag in his pocket, man.
Made a
So,
move.
you know
Bichon
what?
Frise made a move.
I got to tell you, as a longtime watcher of the last day, of the last night, I wasn't impressed with the quality of the 7 finalists. Were you?
No, not terribly. But I was impressed with that Sussex Terrier that looked like a grouper.
Yes, it did.
It did look identical.
He was a homely dog.
Oh, man.
He tried, I think he tried to be friendly, but that face just won't allow it, man. It's
How could
something.
such an ugly fish taste so good?
I don't know.
Groupers are ugly.
Oh,
Yes,
Pat can go
they
get
are.
a grouper sandwich down there, and it's
Ooh,
delicious.
all the time. But I like the collie. I really like the border collie because the border collie looked like he was on the lookout at all times, right?
Well, that's
He
what they're
was-
supposed to do.
Yeah, he was looking out. He wasn't going to let anybody sneak up on him. I like the collie. That was my pick. But apparently the Schnauzer was the favorite. That's not an attractive dog.
Ty, the giant schnauzer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a for Schnauzer, it's a good
Good family dog.
but it's a It's I don't know. And the other one,
Hey, they could have brought out a growling pit bull, and they would have said, "Makes a wonderful family dog."
yes. What's the other one? The tall, skinny one. That's
no
not
idea.
in
Great Dane or
Doberman?
No, tall, skinny one. That was
Weimermeyer.
in the final,
Weimermeter.
no, in the group, in the last 7, it was.
I don't know.
Not a very attractive dog.
Weierheimer.
No. We don't like those. I had one bit me in my eye when I was about 8 years old. I don't
Doberman
like
Pinscher. What a wonderful dog for kids.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, you gotta have. They can't have. They got too many straight men. You gotta have somebody having fun with it. Nobody's having fun with it.
What I finally realized last night is there's just too damn many different varieties.
Oh yes, some of them. Some of the breeds have about 8 dogs entered, 7 dogs, because it's such a exotic breed that. But basically, the other thing you find out, Joe, is these are all homemade.
Yeah, they make them in
the breeders. Yeah, the breeders say, okay, we'll put this one with this one.
They got a lab where they do this,
and maybe we'll get more. And they say this breed goes back to 150 years. Well, what happened before that? Then where did it come from?
I have no idea.
So anyway,
what kind of day is it in the fort?
It's a nice day, but maybe I can open up the door here because they were power washing the seats right in front of me for about an hour, and that's a distracting noise. Not quite as bad as the gas machine that they use for the blower, but it's in the same category.
We're hearing Phil Hughes look good.
I talked to him momentarily. He looked fine. He said he felt good. He said he's had 2 surgeries now to mess around with the ribs, the thoracic outlet, and he said, "That's it. I'm done. If we have to do it again, I'm finished." So. And he's we've made him comfortable for life, giving him that, 5 years, $60 million, I think it was.
Who's the guy that had the family emergency? Fernando Rodney?
Your guy with the hat.
My guy with the hat. How come so many of them come up with the family emergency a day before spring training starts?
You know what it used to be with those fellas, Joe?
Was visa problems.
Visa problems. Yeah. We used to have. They should be having more visa problems than ever now because we're trying not to let those. Oh, they used to always. Caesar Tovar, who was before your time, never. You go back and look through the starts because he'd play 80 games in the winter.
Right.
He'd go and play 80 games in the winter, and you go back and look through the Star Tribune. Or the Star and the Tribune and the Pioneer Press and the Dispatch, you can find the opening day of spring training when everybody has to report. Cesar Tovar is having visa problems.
Yep, always.
Because he'd get there about the 10th of March.
Right.
He had to rest because he played so many games in the Winter League. So,
your Wild got a nice lead over the Rangers, then basically just hung on.
Yeah, but they won against a good club. They're fine, man. They're about 4 games out of first place here now. Everybody was worried, but it's a big jumbled mess. But they're gaining ground. They're fine. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Did you see Sean White's run?
I saw it. I saw the replay. Yes, he's pretty good. And it's very odd when you look that he won in He won in 06, he won in 10, he didn't win in 14, and he's coming back in 2008. This must be an old man sport. I thought you were done when you were about 25.
He's 31 now.
He's still going.
I wonder if he's done after this. Has he said that, I wonder?
He's got to be, I would think. I don't know, although... it's like all those sports. It used to be you were an amateur and you had to go out and get a job. Now that's your livelihood. So
he must have made some dough because he lives in Malibu.
Well, good for him. Now he got in trouble with the gal and he had a band apparently. The Bad Enders or
the
something.
Bad Things.
The Bad Things, and one of the gals in the
drummer
drummer has suggested that he harassed her. And I don't know, is that still in the courts? I know that.
I thought a settlement had been reached.
Settlement had been reached. Okay. Well, he was immediately asked about it now, and in these times, if you got something like that on your resume, how about Billy Haas? Oof.
Yeah. He was just a passenger in the car.
In a Ferrari, though.
Right.
Being driven by a family member of the family he was staying with. They have not yet identified the dead guy, I don't think. But you wonder if somebody might have been going a little fast there, Joe, in a Ferrari to cause and he clipped a car that Luke Wilson was in. So
I would say speed was a factor.
had to be a factor. Yes. Pacific Palisades, which is they were heading over to Riviera, right? The guy was going to drop them off at Riviera or something.
Well, it was at 6:15 at night. Maybe they were coming from
they're
Riviera.
coming back from Riviera.
Yeah.
You're right. Wow. He's lucky he walked away from that damn thing.
Hey, getting back to Shaun White, did I hear up on the top with him was Ricky Fowler? I heard the name Ricky Fowler. Maybe he's got a guy in his entourage who just happens to have that name. Because Ricky Fowler's going to play in Riviera.
Play at Riviera, yeah. It must be a different Ricky. Maybe in the past, Ricky. He's kind of a guy Ricky'd hang out with.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear that, no.
All right, just a moment, please.
Okay.
Rook, you're going to have to take us to break, if you would, and then we'll return shortly.
My name is Cupid Valentino, the modern day Cupid, and I just want to say one thing.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
That's
Day.
9.
Happy Valentine's Day.
10.
This is just the bumper that we're playing.
Hey, Pat.
I don't think y'all
Pat?
man. I just want
Yes,
to
Joe.
say-
I'm being told by a fellow who would know Ricky Fowler is not in the field in L.A.
Oh, really?
So that had to be him up there with him,
He
maybe.
went to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Those guys got so damn much money, they don't care. They can play when they want to.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this guy's, even at Barstool Sports Radios, what do you think of the guy's chances of keeping his job with what he said about Chloe Kim? Did you see this?
I did not.
Oh goodness!
Well,
now
it's,
what?
it's beyond something that we can even suggest. But
Was it said in serious or was it a joke gone bad?
well, it was a joke gone bad.
Well, first tell me,
obviously.
what is Barstool.com?
Pat, it's Barstool Sports is like the sports for young. It was a website, and they got radio too. It's for the young, irreverent, beyond
Matthew
irreverent,
Mikulski type kids
guys-
are listening to Barstool Sports.
but not even them are laughing at this. She's a
Well,
17-year-old.
paraphrase and tell me what it was.
If she was 18, you wouldn't be ashamed to say that she's a little hot piece.
Oh,
And yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
a 17-year-old girl.
Nobody has any style, do they?
Well, but
now
the guy's apologized. It's too late, pal.
That's not
Yeah.
an apology.
No,
That's-
no. That's not something you apologize for. That's something you quit for, right?
Yeah.
And go undercover and never be seen from or heard from again. It's unbelievable. Barstool Sports is the one that ESPN was so desperate they were going to start a Barstool Sports TV show. Mm-hmm. And then Sam Ponder, Christian Ponder's wife, came out and basically rehashed some of the awful things they'd said about her, sexually. And ESPN didn't go with it, but the thing's still on Sirius XM radio, and this was on Sirius XM radio, and the show was actually hosted by this idiot former pitcher Dallas Braden, who's appears on MLB Network some, but a guy Patrick Connor is apparently calls in as a co-host or something, and he made this comment about Chloe Kim.
So they were making an untoward remark about an underage teenager.
Well, they were making a very sexually suggestive remark about a 17-year-old girl. Yeah.
Dave Portnoy, who was with Barstool Sports, a main character, said on Twitter, his Twitter account, "Nothing is more important at Barstool Sports than trying to bring humor to our fans' lives. Occasionally we miss the mark. Most of the time we don't. Regardless, we won't let advertisers, crybabies, and jealous people dictate what we do. You don't like us? Don't listen, watch, or read."
Is
So
was
he's
dated
defending
today.
the remarks.
Is this
That was dated
response
today,
to-
yes, at
to employee
11:24.
camp? Okay, all right. So they're not backing off, huh?
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Well, it's
Well, that's just
It's-
gross. I mean, it's just it's gross.
And this is coming from you.
yes.
There's nothing more irritating to me than that, right? I mean, what we're talking about right now.
Right.
These young, dumb kids, and you old creeps are going after them. It's just sickening. And I don't
minute.
care if you're just saying.
Now
if
you
you're-
confused me.
And now I don't even care if you're talking crap. It's just revolting and disgusting and stupid and wrong.
So we're wrong for going after the young kids?
In a sexual manner, yes.
Well,
Saying
Ken-
sexual things
Kenny,
about.
Kenny.
No, this
no,
is-
no,
we're
I'm being the kid.
No. I'm not talking to you about you two. I'm talking about this douchebag that got
yes.
fired.
Oh,
Yes. Well, I don't think he
Oh,
got
no,
fired.
I'm sorry, Souch.
He just apologized.
No, you're like, what did I do?
What did I do?
No.
Kenny, he just apologized, but he
That's-
didn't get fired.
I'm
I
not
don't
going to
think.
call for his firing, but if he does get fired, I'm not shedding a tear.
Well, it's unbelievable that a guy could think he could get away with something that stupid.
Well, you're only months, years away from getting away with worse than that.
It's troubling to me that the thought even occurs to them, and then he has the balls or the stupidity or whatever it is to go public with it and think that it's going to be met with laughter and yucks and all that. What are you listening to, Matt? Are you hearing it? Turn your mic back on.
I'm listening to Dave Portnoy. He's one of the guys. He does pizza reviews all around the country.
Oh, good. That's something I'd really tune
everybody,
in for.
No, everybody
he
knows the
did.
rules. It's one bite, but he did Casetas, and I was going to play the Casetas review, but I'm monitoring to make sure he doesn't swear in it.
Oh.
I want to make sure that it's clean.
So this is completely off topic.
Yeah, but
Well, it's
Portnoy wasn't the guy who said it. It was Patrick Connor who said it.
Okay, but Portnoy's defending.
Portnoy's defending.
Oh, okay. Well, then forget the pizza review. But
So-
I think you'd like Casetas.
I hate to belabor this, but I want to get it straight.
Well, look
there-
it up, Joe.
No.
I'm not gonna
Is there
say
a
it.
building somewhere and it's called Barstool and you go to work there at 9 in the morning and your job is to come up with
they
this
have
stuff?
An office. I suppose they have an office. I don't know.
So these aren't independent Twitter type people doing
They're
this.
podcasts.
They have become
Like
it's wacky morning
Black
radio stuff that
Outlaw country.
Right.
Yeah, no, way
But
past
more
outlaw
edgier than
country.
that, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I think they've reached a new standard for lowness here. So
Everybody knows the rules, one bite.
That's the pizza review.
That's the pizza review. He gets one bite to review. He did Savoy.
Was the moron in town for this, or
Yes,
Super Bowl
for the
that
Super
was
Bowl. He was in town.
Oh.
And
Boy,
they
what
had
a-
they
that's
had
creativity at its finest. I'm going to review pizzas.
one bite.
Bleep
One
this
bite.
guy. Yes.
But they had
Thank you.
they were given a television show, and somehow in one episode they managed to lose it right away. So they're kind of knuckleheads.
That was Sam Ponder. You got them. I don't.
That
think
was
they
it. Maybe that was it.
I
Okay.
think they went on the air, and then Sam Ponder came out and said how disgusting it was to have these disgusting pigs on, and this is some of the stuff they'd said about her.
I
And
can
it was-
guarantee you that with the Mikulski Family Podcast,
You're not going to hear that?
and I don't think we're doing pizza reviews either. Yeah, so we're good.
Sports
Why
talk.
not? Well, you should do.
Maybe we
pizza
will now.
reviews. But eat the whole pizza. Don't
Right,
just
that's
eat
the
one
rules.
bite.
Everybody knows the rules. The whole pizza.
Sports Talk will return shortly, but now thanks to our great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal, and Your Money Now.
If the guy doesn't like the pizza place Rook, does he file or post a Portnoy's complaint?
Oh, God help you, Bruce. You really,
It's
you
reaching.
topped yourself there.
Yeah, I'm reaching for one. Yeah, okay. It's a holiday.
We need a little soothing
Think so. I think
Carl
so.
Wallinger, don't we?
We'll come down. Hit it, bro.
Have you ever been to Love Street?
You tried on all the shoes?
Have you tried on all the shoes?
For walking on the clouds, baby.
Therefore, walking on the clouds with
What's this crap?
a night fit down here in the blue.
You know, Royce, we have the power to turn you off. You know that, right?
Here's John Height.
Thanks, Joe. It's sunny and
That's a
like
group
Miller's.
called World Party, Pat, but it's
I
really
like-
just one guy.
I like Miller's Cave, that kind of stuff.
Where is the bear in Miller's Cave?
It's sunny and 42 degrees. Before our sports headlines and other news, here's the latest on that school shooting.
That's why we were playing something soothing.
Okay.
At Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. The shooter is in custody now. That coming in a tweet from the Broward County Sheriff's Office. Varying stories about that. Apparently, from what everyone is somewhat reporting, the shooter was a student who left the school and went to his home, and police pursued him there. As far as victims, a senator from Florida talking with CNN said there were, in his words, a number of fatalities. The superintendent of schools in the area just was on CNN. He said there were, in his words, numerous fatalities in the shooting. Early reports had at least 20 people injured in the incident. Of course, no actual number at this point. A number of fatalities, though, as I said. And as of right now, the rest of the students, it was a large school. They evacuated students earlier, but there was over 3,000 students in the school. So they are now evacuating.
Right near Boca Raton. John, that's a 48-hour to 72-hour story, isn't it?
It really is, especially numbers-wise when we start talking numbers.
So we don't know how it played out in the school, what happened room to room. Or
We know nothing yet.
We know nothing. There were some students actually had time to call parents or text parents and say they were hiding in closets, hiding in rooms, so that's all we know.
I can't believe this is reality for
age
kids
group?
these days. This is unbelievable.
What
It's
age group?
unbelievable.
High school kids.
High school.
Okay.
Sports headlines.
3,000 students in this high school.
This is reality, far worse than what we had when it was nukes and you just hide under your desk.
And eat stale saltines and drink the water they had in a 50-gallon drum.
That was peaceful, serene, and fun. This is pure hell and terror and horror.
Sports headlines. U.S. men's hockey team, you folks talked about this, lost their Olympic opener. They were defeated by Slovenia 3-2 in overtime.
Where in the hell is Slovenia?
It's
Right near the area
One of
there?
the,
Smack in the
it's
middle,
one
I
of the
think.
6 Yugoslavian countries.
You get it. They're over
So
there.
that's
Former
I
Eastern
continue to
Bloc.
say the fall of the Iron Curtain was overrated. The world was a much simpler place.
But,
when you had Yugoslavia instead of 6 different countries.
The U.S. team gave it away. I mean, we had this game in hand.
Up 2-0 going
Yeah.
into the third period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is bordered to the north by Austria, to the south by Croatia,
Yep.
to the east a little bit by Hungary,
Yep.
and that should be Switzerland, Italy.
How about
to
the Adriatic?
Damn
The
near right in
Adriatic
the
is-
heart of Eastern Europe.
Oh, it's supposed to be extremely picturesque.
It gets a little bit
a
of
lot of mountains.
a little bit of shoreline kiss from the Adriatic.
Yep.
Not much.
Wild win last night. They'll play Washington tomorrow night at the
We don't
XL
have to
Energy
preview that,
Center.
do we, Pat?
No, we previewed it yesterday.
Thanks, guys. Some bettors were very confused when they went to the windows that were listening in Las Vegas in the
Those
podcast.
guys swear they're playing Washington.
Boy, they got
Washington.
3 quick ones last night. Man alive. What, 11, 12 minutes? They had 3 goals.
Yep. Wolves beaten handily. They'll play the Lakers at the Target Center tomorrow night.
You know, Johnny, when they make 22 threes and you make 6,
Yep.
that means you got 48 points to make up. That's not going to be easy. You got to make a lot of medium-range jump shots to make up for that.
And when they finish a game with 42 points in the fourth quarter, that's tough to keep up with.
Yeah, and Wiggy didn't have a real good night. Our old friend Suan took quite a piece out of him
Saw that.
today. Wow.
Friend? Patrick, you were talking yesterday with Manny about the 3-point game and how it's turned into that. Why don't you like it?
Oh, because it's just guys throwing up shots. There's nothing going on to get them open.
You think it's a dumbing down of the game to bring in more consumers? Or do you think it's just a natural progression? This is where it's
the original
I'll call that an uppy. I bet they'll have a 4-point shot before long.
The NBA always had it, but it was it was a distant shot and it wasn't considered a decent percentage shot. But it allegedly was brought to the college game. They thought it would open up the lane and get rid of a lot of congestion around the basket, and but the line was too short. But now the shooters are so good they can make the NBA shot just time and again.
At my
Houston's strategy is The Houston coach says that there's nothing he hates worse than a 2-point shot. He just
Really?
wants threes and layups. Yeah.
That's Earl Weaver hit a home run.
Yes.
What was the Chinese writing or Japanese writing on Houston's jerseys?
I believe it's an alternative jersey, and it must be in honor of Yao Ming, maybe. But it basically it's intended to, because of Yao Ming, there's a lot of Rockets fans in China.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's intended to sell jerseys too.
Okay.
We got any throwback Dikembe Mutombo jerseys? That's my favorite NFL player name to say. Dikembe
Which one
Mutombo.
could we have? We could have Australian throwbacks, and what was the name of the little guard?
Luke.
No, not our guard.
Call on me.
Horseshack.
Call on me.
Horseshack.
I got a prediction.
Yeah.
In the never-ending ways that these professional clubs look to increase revenues, I see a future where the jerseys will be different every game, and it might be a Pepsi jersey, or it might be 3M
Papa John's Pizza
or
Night
Macy's
jersey.
or
Hell,
whatever.
it's already happened to baseball. I can't watch baseball anymore.
Yeah.
They got
Red
they
Twins uniforms?
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Got, but every NBA team has 4 this year.
Yeah.
And to think I used to watch hockey with just plain white boards.
You're
What a
old.
Neanderthal. Boy, am I old.
Back to the 3-point shot that you were talking about a little bit earlier. When I was at that CAA dinner, Steve Fritz did a little a speech on Johnny Tower Jr., and he said Johnny Tower Jr. thought the 3-point arch, he never thought he could go beyond it. He always had to stay outside of it and shoot 3-pointers. He never went inside to shoot any.
My kid was Johnny Tower Jr.'s manager. My kid was the tallest manager in the state.
Well, it worked. They won.
Yeah. News notes from today: the Hennepin County Attorney.
Even the manager's a giant.
Well, 6 pounds.
He was wiry, wasn't he? He was wiry.
Yes, very wiry.
The Hennepin County Attorney says no charges will be filed against the lawyer who was behind the wheel of a vehicle that hit and killed a 35-year-old man who was out for a run in St. Paul last year. A release from County Attorney Mike Freeman's office says Twin Cities Attorney Peter Berge was not on his cell phone, had no chemicals or alcohol in his system when his vehicle hit and killed Scott Allen Spoo, who was running through the crosswalk at Mississippi River Boulevard and Dayton Avenue. He did fail field sobriety test, but 2 days after the crash, he went to the hospital where an MRI showed a large tumor on his brain, according to the press release. Minneapolis-St. Paul International set a passenger record in 2017 when more than 38 million people traveled through its gates. The number, 38,034,341 passengers, represented a 1.4% increase from the previous year and ranked ahead of the previous record, which was set all the way back in 2000.
Yes, yeah, but just think of 2018 with those million people that flew into here for the Super Bowl. Man, alive, we're going to set a record that will never be equal.
Did they attribute that number in 2017 to anything special, John?
They do not. Nope. In fact,
I would say a guy we know helping the customers with Sun Country might have something to do with it.
So is that a buddy you have that works at the airport?
Can I carry your wallet, sir?
You been to Naples?
This one's for you, Rook. The
Yes.
British makers of
Good, because that last one was not. This one is. Yes,
exactly.
this one is.
Exactly.
We are differentiating there.
The British makers of Cadbury chocolates posted job openings online for some crucial positions. Chocolate taste testers.
Ooh, okay.
Mondelez, the company behind Cadbury, as well as Oreo cookies and other snack foods, posted openings on its website for 3 chocolate tasters and 1 chocolate and cocoa beverage taster. The postings are for part-time jobs that start at $12.50 an hour. State candidates should have a passion for confectionery and taste buds for detection, as well as an eagerness to try new and inventive products.
I would, but the problem is that I'm not allowed to have a part-time job outside of this job. So, I wouldn't be able to do that.
All right, just a moment.
Of course.
Live from the TCL broadcast studios, might I have a breaking Olympic story for you before we get back to Johnny?
Good. Yes.
Boys, you've all heard the saying, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
Yeah.
The Jamaican bobsled coach, German Sandra Kyriasis, is miffed at a change in her role, is going to quit is threatening to quit as the Jamaican bobsled coach, and she owns the sled. She's going to take it home.
They only have one.
They got a sled that she owns.
Hey, we did that joke when 30 years ago. Why are we still doing the Jamaican bobsled joke? I don't get it.
You mean, why is there still a team?
Wasn't it 88? Wasn't that when the Jamaican bobsled joke first started?
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. That was the year of Eddie the Eagle and the Jamaican
Was that
bobsled
Calgary?
team. Yes.
Well, this gal is serious. Her role was changed, and she owns the sled, and she's going to say, see you later.
She was supposed to be the coach or
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Okay.
Their debut was in 1988 in Calgary.
Before I get to any more stories, I was busted on a story I read last hour that I probably should make a correction.
Yeah.
For
Are you
those
being FYI'd?
For those, I am being FYI'd. For those of you that didn't hear it, the Royal Navy bomb disposal experts blew up a World War II German bomb that they had found in the River Thames. I reported the 500 kilogram, this was last hour, 500 kilogram bomb was found in the George V. dock in North Woolwich.
Right.
Well, Downing wrote me a little note. He said, do you think maybe George V. would be King George V?
Just think maybe. I don't know. Is there a possibility?
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty good.
So it was the George V doc.
George V. dock.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
All right.
I got a kick out of that one.
Yes.
Now, you've said bomb today more than you have in the last 10
Well,
years.
you know, I answered him saying, thanks for catching that. I'll have to bring that up in the air.
I guess that bomb really screwed up traffic in London. Holy cow.
And Dave did reply saying, you were so worried about having to say bomb so many times that's why you screwed up George V. So,
Hey, I just had a thought. What's the word that Josh can't say?
A robot?
Robot.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you
Does
had
he
the
have more
apples-
trouble? Does he have more trouble with robot than I do with tur? It's about a tie, wouldn't you say?
Well, if it is a down day at the Dow,
What were
you
we
would,
mocking? John, we were mocking Royce yesterday off the air for his pronunciation of something. What was it? I walked
Take
by
your
and-
pick.
I walked by and said,
it was Gala, the fellow that discovered gravity.
Galileo.
Yeah. I said, I walked by John's desk and say, that's how they say it in Fulda.
Galileo.
I think it's Galileo.
Leo.
Well,
You were pretty close.
I knew some guys named Leo.
Especially.
Especially.
But now let's get back to our live spot with Patrick. And the Apple stock today is down.
Okay, Josh, we're
It is
out of
a
time. You gotta
bruised
go.
Apple.
We have a mystery. It's still
Love you, Josh Arnold.
Still not clear how a 49-year-old skier whose disappearance
This is a very surprising story, Johnny.
sparked a massive search on a snowy New York mountainside, showed up a week later in California, confused and still in ski clothing.
That's what he's telling the wife.
Lie.
Deny everything.
Toronto firefighter Konstantinos Danny Fipilidis was reported missing February 7th from Whiteface Mountain during a ski trip. As many as 140 people a day searched the wooded mountainside in Wilmington, New York. The search ended Tuesday when Fipilidis contacted local authorities in Sacramento, California. Frank Rabignano of the Toronto Professional Firefighters Association said Fipilidis was confused, unable to give any direct answers. He was hospitalized. Sacramento officer told the Post-Standard of Syracuse that Fipilidis thought he'd suffered a head injury, rode in a truck, and slept a lot. He got a haircut after he was found, bought an iPhone, and called his wife.
What do you buy an iPhone with? You know what this is? It's an elaborate excuse to get out of paying for this search, right? Because how many
don't
people
know.
were looking for him, you said?
140 a day each day.
Yeah, that's expensive.
New York troopers had no comment on the whole thing today.
I think
We're
we're
going to get the truth here pretty quick.
we're going to hear more on this one.
How fast do you guys think a school bus can go?
About as fast as one of those dog walkers at Westminster.
In my neighborhood, it's at least 20 miles under the limit.
Well, authorities say speeds reached 100 miles an hour during a police pursuit
Don't
of a
believe it.
stolen school bus in
Don't
Ohio.
believe it.
The Dayton Daily News reports the chase began shortly before 5 a.m. on Wednesday. The bus stolen from the Twin Valley Schools in West Alexandria, about 19 miles west of Dayton, Chase began in Brookville, northwest of Dayton. The bus hit a parked car during the chase, ended in the Dayton suburb of Trotwood. Suspect was arrested. Police say 100 miles an hour was reached by the squad and the bus during the chase.
Was it one of those little short ones, or was it a full size?
I don't know, Kenny.
I don't know. If
Yeah, I
buy
bet the
that.
short ones go faster.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour. That's optimistic.
Well,
Kenny,
depends on
you
who's
didn't
driving
respond to my text last night during Westminster.
Wait a minute. You didn't send me one.
I sent you a text saying there's some
Dude, there is no text here from
there's
you.
some large women running the sporting group dogs around. I wanted we had
Big deal.
that was a big.
Are you sure
there
it was? Maybe it was a tweet.
You sent it to me. Maybe you thought you were sending it to Kenny.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't get a text from you, Pat.
Well, no, I sent it to you.
But if there's
maybe I sent it to your home phone.
If there's a BBW on TV, I'm watching it.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
You got to send me
Well,
that
they
message.
were running the dogs, and the nylons were down by the ankles.
I'm the
man.
only one in America that likes Marie Osmond before she lost 50 pounds.
What's a BBW?
Big, beautiful woman, baby.
Oh, yeah.
BBW. He thought it's a place you went and
Thought it
got
was
wings.
baseball, right?
He thought you went and got wings and so a couple of beers there. We're gonna go to BBW's.
Probably, it's probably a good thing you didn't know that, Joe. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a popular slang term online, as they say.
Yeah.
Amazon say they can't figure out why dozens of packages containing sex toys are being sent to strangers by Amazon. Unsolicited parcels have been turning up at homes around the U.S. and Canada.
Suchi? Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were waving your hand because you were going to tell John we heard this last
did we?
week from Reavers.
No, it's a different story.
Oh,
It's
this
a different
is?
story, yeah.
Pranksters. that's
Last
who's
week it
doing
was somebody getting weird
Credits.
items in the mail that
Yeah.
they had never ordered.
I
but,
actually read that story, yeah. Yeah,
but
this
they
is a
were like
different story.
toothbrushes and stuff. This
Yeah.
is your other
Oh,
thing.
I just pulled a radio faux pas. I'm sorry.
Some of the
That's
games.
Fox Paws. That's Fox Paws. You mispronounced it. there.
Pause. This has been happening in the U.S. and Canada over several weeks. As we talked about, random gifts that Kenny pointed out, like speakers, toothbrushes, that sort of thing, have shown up. But now the mystery has taken an X-rated turn, with Amazon confirming that increasingly the items include sex toys.
Oh, how fun.
That's
How do
what-
you get on the list?
That's what happened to a gal named Nikki. She didn't want her last name used.
I bet it's spelled Nikki.
You are correct.
The sexy version.
Where's she on the Matrix?
She told the Daily Beast that when she
250 an hour is where she's at.
when she originally received the $25 sex toy in the post, she thought there'd been a mix-up.
Is that a good one? $25?
No,
Well,
that's bottom. Never mind. I don't know.
Sure.
I would
I was
say-
listening and telling the Kenny going, oh.
this is addressed by Nikki, Joe.
Oh, yeah?
Nikki said, at first I thought it had to be a mistake. I looked the sex toy up, and it's $25, which is sort of substantial.
Wow.
So that's what Nikki thinks about it. Amazon says they're not sure what's going on, but they are investigating.
All right, Johnny. Thank you.
You bet.
Pat, what do you have coming up on the ride?
Borza or whatever it is was the other big dog I was thinking.
Okay.
Borzoi, that big old
Borzoi.
ugly looking.
Yeah.
Borzoi.
Whatever.
Yeah, that big old ugly looking dog. We have at 5:03, Glenn Perkins is going to tell us about not being in spring training for the first time since 2005. Going to talk to him about what life is like without spring training.
So he's back up here.
Yeah, he's at home. He's got a daughter playing hockey, and he's got himself a rink, and he's doing all the dad stuff out there in distant Lakeville. And, no
And
baseball.
his wife's saying it's about time.
Yeah. Well, I thought you left a month ago. But he's got the house down here, but he hasn't been down yet to check it out. So he's a Paseo guy, but he's on the other side of the bridge.
I wonder if
There's
Perky'd rent that to one of his radio friends.
Yeah,
I think he probably would.
Mikulski's are taking it for free.
Yeah, right.
Pat, you're on the list next.
1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's I got 42 on the
42 is
mayor's
what I got,
on the
Brock.
mayor's phone. Hey, Perky, I got to talk to you.